Dr. William Small holds a Ph.D. in religious studies and is the founder of Dr. Will Enterprises. He has 15 years in the financial services industry and made over $100 million for his clients. Dr. Will is an Association for Talent Development Master Trainer who hosted a radio broadcast for 6 years, made numerous TV and radio appearances, and is the author of several Bible-based books including Relationship 911, Strengthening the Family, Manscaped, Single Mothers and Sons, Money Does Grow on Trees, and Surprising Secrets of the Fortune 500.
Introduction. But you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He that gives you the power to get wealth. Deuteronomy 8:18.
The purpose of this book is to help men take advantage of an opportunity that guys have too long been missing. That is, utilizing the power that God placed in a woman inherently to help men produce wealth exponentially. My brothers, everything you need to fulfill your creative purpose was planted on the inside of you before you were born. The only thing that a man needs in addition to what he was born with is the virtue and value of a good woman to help him fulfill his God-given desire. This is why a man can get rich using his own gifts, talents, and abilities, but in order to become wealthy, he needs a woman. Too often, however, men do not recognize that they already have everything they need to fulfill the desires of their heart. Therefore, they go off searching for what they believe they need to be wealthy, when what they actually need has been laying in bed next to them every night, sleeping quietly. We must understand that we were all created for success. God did not create you to be a failure because He sent you here to successfully complete a heavenly assignment. Therefore, God made you successful before you were even born. The desire that you have in your heart to achieve success was not your idea, it's God's idea. Where the average man needs help from other men is coming to understand that in order to fulfill God's idea, they have to follow a defined. A man who does not know how to handle and maintain a woman correctly will cause her to explode. He won't be able to prevent it after a certain point. It'll just happen. A man can be the toughest guy on the planet, but without the knowledge on how to operate in marriage, he can easily be defeated by a woman. Samson was the strongest man in the world. He killed 1,000 men with the jawbone of an ass, but he was defeated by the woman who slept in his arms. Brothers, a woman can beautifully make you, but she can also woefully break you. Contrary to tough guy ideology, a woman can actually do anything that a man can do, even many things that he can't. God designed her with power to help her husband do the things that he can't. Therefore, it is imperative that a man understands how to properly treat or handle a woman before he gets married if he wants to enjoy the pleasure and prosperity of her power. Society sets a man up for failure in marriage because he does not need to know anything before he obtains a marriage license. Before he's given a license to drive, a man has to study a driving manual first and then take 2 tests. Men have to understand that a woman's economic power is a type of currency. Her economic power is fueled by her spiritual power, which is called currency. I perceive that men have difficulty accepting this reality because they have never been told the truth about what currency really is. We have been taught generally that the word currency is synonymous with money or cash. We have been taught to use those terms interchangeably when they are actually 3 different things entirely. The paper and coins that we keep in our personal wallet and use to buy things is cash. Money is an idea that has great value. However, an idea is intangible and has no intrinsic value until we infuse it with cash and turn it into something tangible. Cash is a physical entity. Therefore, cash is the tool we use to transform intangible ideas into a physical entity. Now, every intangible idea and physical entity has a spiritual property. Your body is a physical entity, but your soul is your body's spiritual property. Currency is a spiritual property that is hidden within cash and money.
Strange arithmetic. If you sleep in a woman's bed, you should dream her dreams. Stanislaw J. Lack.
The parable of the talent in Matthew chapter 25, verses 14 through 30 is an example of 3 types of women. That is 2 different types of wives and 1 married woman. A married woman gives her husband back what he gave her. He gives her groceries and she gives him meals. A wife, on the other hand, is productive. She is profitable because she has the power to multiply whatever her husband gives her, some 30, 60, and some 100-fold, like the metaphor of women in Mark chapter 4, verse 8. The word fold is describing the capacity to multiply exponentially. The reason some wives can produce 100-fold while others only 30 or 60 is due to her and her husband's combined knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of the Word of God. This is another reason why it is critical for a man to have a wife who will allow him to teach her. Eve wanted to be wise, but Adam failed to teach her properly, so she got taken in by the wisdom of Satan. The Bible describes 3 levels of spiritual comprehension. The woman was made last well after the 7-day process of creation because a woman is a divine being. The woman was designed by God to be a divine being similar to an angel in heaven whose job is to assist men in governing the earth and to protect them while they're doing it. God designed the woman to be very powerful. However, people who are corrupted by the wiles of the devil has used religion and the Bible to strip women of this power and to keep them oppressed. Women must begin to understand that the woman was God's last act of creation, which means he saved the best for last. A man might think he's God's gift to women, but a woman actually is God's gift to men. When God made the woman, her ordained mission was to help the man. Ladies, before you start to make dinner, you make sure you have everything in the kitchen that you need to complete the meal. Before God created the woman, he first created everything she would need to complete her ordained mission. Then when God made the woman, he put all the power in her that she would need to get the job done. Genesis 2:20 says, "A man and a woman's reproductive organs represents a trinity that can be very powerful seductively. This is why Satan always uses sex to delay, distract, or destroy people who are pursuing God's purpose. Consequently, some women can get carried away with penis worship, and some men can lose control of their brain function over vagina worship. This may seem silly, but obsession can easily occur once a person develops an inordinate desire for the love and pleasure that is built into sex when they don't understand why it's there. This is one of the primary areas where church leaders have failed, not just the church, but the world at large. Rather than teaching about the power and purpose of sex, they made the subject taboo, thus leaving the church and the world to try to figure it out. The act of intercourse was designed by God to be a good thing. However, church leaders gave the adversary space to trick us into believing that sex is a bad thing. He drove the religious Puritans to make us believe that we are dirty if we touch ourselves down there. If you stand up straight and cross your hands in front of you, the women's equality movement was created by God to free his daughters from oppression, to help them achieve equal pay for equal work, and so on. The goal is to ensure that women are treated equally with men. The feminist movement, on the other hand, has become a type of religious ideology called feminism that is no different in terms of people having an unshakable belief in its doctrine and ideology than Catholicism, Buddhism, and Judaism. Feminism is a religion wherein a woman with mythological strength and independence is their religious icon. Feminists believe that women can do anything that a man can do. They believe that being treated like a woman is socially and professionally degrading. Rather than fighting to be treated equally with men, feminists demand to be treated like men. These two movements actively operating simultaneously has created confusion and a type of impotence in men because they can't figure out how women want to be treated. They didn't know the reason some women wanted doors open for them and some didn't, depending on which movement they ascribe to. Some women want equality, but they still want to be treated like a lady. Pride and insecurity prevents an adult male from utilizing a powerful woman's knowledge, gifts, talents, and abilities effectively to create greater wealth for his family. Too many of them let their pride strip them of the opportunity to become wealthy when their wife makes more money than they do. When they have wives that make more money, they tend to do things to defeat her mentally and emotionally. Her superior financial position makes him feel little, so he does things to try to make her feel small. The man-sized boy can handle a woman having more money as long as she is giving him all the money he wants and doesn't have to ask her for it. A real man, on the other hand, does not have a problem with a woman having more money because he is secure in his manhood. Men who are not mature or secure will complicate a relationship when his woman makes more money than he does. The difference in success or failure of a marriage where a woman earns more money has to do with the man, not the money. Women are now earning more money than their husbands in almost 25% of American households, according to a study by the Pew Research Center. This is critical information for men who want to build wealth or increase their income. Men must understand that there is a correlation between marriage, wealth, and income. Whites get married and remain married at higher percentages than blacks and Hispanics, thus they have higher incomes per household and have a higher net worth and produce greater wealth. We've been conditioned to believe that this disparity has something to do with discrimination, when in reality it comes down to a choice between stability and instability. Would you rather hire a married man with children and a mortgage or a single man with children and child support? Married men are more likely to get the job and are likely to be paid more as well. The median household income for whites in 2016 was $65,000 compared to $48,000 for Hispanics and only $39,000 for blacks. Asians, the group that maintains the highest tradition of early marriage, also has the highest median household income of $82,000. The median net worth for whites is $104,000 compared to $9,000 for blacks.
For more information, please visit www.drwillspeaking.com.